I'm here with Crystal and Janice, and if you only have 30 minutes, this is the sequence that's going to do it for you. Just a little tiny bit of everything that you need. So you're going to start in a hanging forward fold with your feet hip distance apart. Have them parallel with one another, and then grab your elbows. And it's perfectly fine to bend your knees a lot at the beginning. If your legs are not ready to have straight legs, then don't worry about it. Bend your knees. You want to be hanging forward like Frankenstein. That's what I've decided it looks like. So bend your knees so that your chest is somewhat close to your inner thighs. And then breathe in and out through your nose. Nobody laughed at Frankenstein. I did. I thought it was funny. And start to make your breath longer and smoother. Pay attention to the sound of it. And then as you move through the sequence, if you lose that sense of the breath, then come back and remind yourself that it is the most important part after all. All right, and then release your hands down right underneath your shoulders. Straighten your legs, and inhale, pull your chest forward, widen your collarbones. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Draw your belly in a little bit, and then inhale, come all the way up to stand. Slide your feet all the way together so your big toes are touching. Bring your hands together in front of your heart. And then inhale, reach your arms out to the side, stretch them up alongside your ears. Maybe look up and bring your palms together. Exhale, hinge at your hips and fold forward. Inhale, pull your chest forward and look up again. And then exhale and step your right or left leg back, Once you're there, lower the back knee down, straighten your front leg out, and fold forward over it. So you want to flex your right ankle so that your toes are facing the ceiling. Have your hips square to the floor, to the front of the mat. And you'll know if your right toes are up and your back toes are pressing into the floor that that's happening. And then pull your chest through your upper arms so you have the same width that you just had when you were standing in the front of your mat in the forward fold. And then rebend your front knee. Lift your back knee up. Step the foot forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, stretch your chest away from your thighs. And then exhale, hinge at your hips, fold back down. Inhale, come up to standing and bring your arms up alongside your ears again. And then exhale, bring your hands together at heart center. And we'll do that again. Inhale, reach your arms up. Drop your tailbone, but lift your chest. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Collarbones stay wide as you fold. Inhale, look forward, shoulders away from your ears. And then this time, exhale, right leg goes back to a high lunge. Drop the knee, shift your weight back, and fold over your left leg. So flexing the ankle again so your toes are up. Right toes, spread them and push them into the floor. And then it really doesn't matter if you're high on your fingers or you have completely straight elbows. You want to find a place where your upper back presses in and your chest stays wide. And then bend your front knee again and step forward, right foot to the front. Inhale, chest widens again. Exhale, fold at your hips. Inhale, come up to standing, arms reach up alongside your ears. And then exhale, join your hands together at heart center. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, chest wide, look forward. Exhale, step into plank, and then hold plank once you get there. So start with your shoulders right over your wrists. Draw your belly in. It'll feel like you're drawing your pubic bone towards your navel somewhat. If that causes you to collapse your chest, then re-widen it and pull your collarbones through your upper arms again. And the neck should feel long and give your legs a lot of work so your knees are completely straight and you push back somewhat through your heels without shifting your shoulders back as well. Right, now, keep the energy in your heels, but pull your shoulders beyond your wrist 2 inches. And on your next exhale, bend your elbows halfway down into chaturanga, keeping your collarbones wide and your belly drawn in. Ooh, very nice, you too. Janice, your butt's up a little. There we go. And then exhale, lower yourself all the way down to the mat. She thought she was going to get away with it. Right, uncurl your toes. Move your hands back so that they're underneath your elbows. You have your forehead on the floor to begin with. And then first, think about peeling your chest forward. And as you push your toes down, inhale, chest forward, and then lift it up into cobra. Good. And then exhale, lower yourself back down. Make sure you're doing the work from your upper back, not your neck. So inhale, pull your chest forward. Good. And then exhale, lower back down. And do that one more time. Inhale, collarbones wide, shoulders up and down away from your ears. Good. And then exhale, lower all the way down. Right. Leave your arms here. Curl your toes under the opposite way. Right. If chaturanga is newer for you, you're going to leave your knees down on the mat in this transition. If they're not, you're going to press your legs completely straight like Crystal's going to. Right. Now get your shoulders and your head up off of the mat. Now draw your belly in, no matter which version you're doing. Take an inhale, and then as you exhale, press yourself back up into chaturanga in one straight line. And then inhale, go all the way up to plank. She really wanted to get through that. And then exhale, push back into your first down dog. So pedal your feet back and forth, bending and straightening your legs. It's to stretch the backs of your calves out and the backs of your hamstrings. Well, your hamstrings, they're on the back. They couldn't shift to the front, so. Right now, straighten both of your legs. Look forward, lift your heels, walk or hop yourself to the front of your mat. Inhale, chest through your arms. Exhale, fold at your hips. Inhale, come up to standing, elbows straight, arms up. And exhale, join your hands together in front of your heart. Right? 2 classic Sun Salutes. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, Uttanasana, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, look forward. And then exhale, walk or hop into Chaturanga. If you're hopping, bend your elbows midair. And then inhale, upward facing dog, or you can stay with cobra like we did before. And exhale, press up and back, hinge at your hips and fold into down dog. So spreading your fingers wide, anchoring your hands to the mat. A sense of your inner arm, part that's by your ears, rolling up to the ceiling. And then thighs back by lifting your kneecaps up or engaging your quads. Okay, look forward, lift your heels, bend your knees, and hop or lightly step to the front. Inhale, chest through your arms. Exhale, crown of the head down. Inhale, come up to standing, arms overhead. And then exhale, hands together at your heart. Inhale, arms up, one more time. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, look forward. And exhale, step or hop Chaturanga. Elbows stay hugged in. Inhale, toes press down, lift your chest up into a back bend. And then exhale, press up and back into downward facing dog. Okay, from this downward facing dog, stretch your right leg up and back. And then open your right hip, bend your right knee, and you can let your hips turn completely open. Try to keep your chest fairly square to the floor. And draw your heel in towards your sit bone. You can either flex your ankle or point the toe. It doesn't really matter. And then inhale, shift yourself forward into plank, and exhale, pull your right knee to your right tricep, keeping your elbows straight and your shoulders square to the front. Good. And keep your back leg straight as well. Hold, draw the belly in, flex at your right hip to draw the thigh higher, right? And then draw your knee to your nose and round your back. Look forward and glide the foot through all the way to your hands. Spin your back heel flat. Line up heel to arch, and then squeeze your right hip under your body. Reach your left arm up, and then inhale, bring yourself up into Warrior Two, reaching your arms out to the sides. Okay. Nice straight back leg like you have in plank pose always. And then right hip and knee, send them the same direction as your right toes. And once you have that, then just pay attention. Left sit bone, drop it a little bit lower so that the right side of your pelvis lifts off the thigh. And then square your collarbones off to the side of your mat and reach your arms apart. Good. Right, and then turn your gaze to the left. Reach your arms up alongside your ears now. So just straight ahead, you two. Not all the way to the left. Right? Roll the outer arms forward and reach them up. So right now, pay attention to the length in the right side of your waist. I want you to think about the left ribs coming towards your left hip as you hinge at the right hip and fold towards side angle. Right? And you'll get to a place where you can't fold from the hip anymore, so pause there and make sure you still work the left side body. Right? Now draw your tailbone under as you press the knee open. And pull your front ribs in so that you're in one straight line from the crown of your head through your tailbone. Good. Steady breath. It's not easy. Hold your eyes still. Good. And then inhale, bring yourself back up to standing. Part your arms apart. Look over your right fingers. And then exhale, hands down to the mat and take yourself through a vinyasa to down dog. Right, so you can always skip vinyasas if you don't need them, but this is a pretty short sequence, so if you have it in you, you should take them. And now stretch your left leg up and back, open the hip, bend the knee. Right, and then you can unsquare your hips. You want to keep your upper body pretty much like it is in downward facing dog though. And then draw the heel tightly in towards your sit bone. Inhale forward into plank, and exhale, pull your left knee to your left tricep. And then once it's there, it's more flexion at the hip to pull the knee higher. Glue the heel in towards your sit bone. And then belly in. Good. Now round your back and pull your knee in all the way to your nose. And then look forward and step your foot all the way up into between your hands. Spin your back heel flat. Line up heel to arch. Keep your left hip under. Turn your chest open. And then inhale, bring yourself up into Warrior Two and reach your arms out to the sides again. So you push the back knee straight and the outer edge of the foot down. Give me a little more. There we go. Good. Right, and then get the left hip and your knee facing over the front of your toes. Then square your chest off. Good. You're actually overdoing it now. There you go. And bring your ribs back. Okay, good. Right, now start to bend into the front knee. Keep the weight in the heel. Just turn your gaze sideways now. Reach your arms up alongside your ears and roll the triceps. All right, now pay attention. The work is going to come from your right side waist. So hinge at your left hip. Start to take yourself towards side angle. And as you fold there, bring your right ribs towards your right hip like you're doing a side body crunch. And then once you have that happening, the tailbone will probably need to come over under just a little bit. Keep your back leg straight when you're doing that. And then the work is in the upper back to re-widen your chest and make sure that your spine is long and even. Good. And then again, it's not easy. It's a hard variation. Stay with your breath. Good. And then inhale, bring your torso back up. Exhale, part your arms apart and look over your front fingers and cartwheel down into a vinyasa and end up in down dog. And from down dog, look forward, bend your knees, hop or step in between your feet again. Inhale, chest wide. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, bend your knees and sit into chair pose with your arms alongside your ears. Get the weight to be back in your heels, your hip points up, so tailbone drops slightly, and then chest up and lean your torso back. Good. And then press down and stand, and exhale, hands to your heart center. All right, inhale, bend your knees and drop your hips into chair. Exhale, fold forward, straighten your legs. Inhale, chest forward, look up. And then exhale, left leg's going to go back like we did before. Inhale up to crescent pose and reach your arms alongside your ears. If you need to drop your back knee and bend it a little bit to get the tailbone down, then do that. A little bit more. Good. And then keep the weight in your front heel and press your back leg straighter. And then once you can't straighten it anymore without overarching your low back, lift your upper back into your chest, arms straight, maybe look up and touch your palms together. Good. And then exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Spin your back heel flat, line up your heels, and then inhale up into warrior one with your arms alongside your ears again. Okay, anchor the back foot. Now the back knee has to be completely straight. That's the difference from crescent pose. And then once it's straight, you do that same amount of trying to get the hip points up. And then square your collarbones off to the front of your mat. And last breath, if you're going to look up and touch, do it only if you can keep your elbows straight. And then exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Step your back foot forward. Inhale, chest wide into Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold forward at your hips. Inhale, bend your knees and sit into chair pose just for one breath. And exhale, push up to stand and join your hands together. Inhale, bend your knees, sit into chair pose. Exhale, fold legs straight. Inhale, chest forward, look up. And then exhale, right leg goes back. Inhale, come up to crescent pose, arms up. And bend your back knee a decent amount. Draw the tailbone under towards your left heel. Hold on to that and press the back leg any amount straighter, maintaining the length in your low back. And then sideways, lift it up, lift your chest, look up, and maybe touch. Good. Exhale, hands down to the mat. Spin your back heel flat, heel to heel again. Inhale, come up to warrior one, arms up. And then find the steady anchor of your back leg, outer edge of the foot, and then knee completely straight no matter what else that does to the pose. Hold the back leg, hip points up and as square as they'll go. Then chest square, look up, maybe touch. Good. Exhale, hands down, step your back foot forward. Inhale, chest wide. Exhale, fold at your hips. Inhale, bend your knees and sink into chair pose. And then exhale, push up to standing and join your hands together at your heart. Again, inhale, bend your knees, sit into chair. Exhale, fold legs straight. Inhale, chest forward, look up. Exhale, left leg back, step it back, spin the heel flat. Inhale up to warrior one, arms alongside your ears. Good. And then exhale, hands to heart center, straighten your front leg out. Turn your right toes towards the side of your mat. Line up your heels, parallel your feet. Now bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, lift your chest up. Exhale, fold yourself forward. Put your hands under your shoulders. Inhale, chest wide. And then exhale, fold. If your elbows are bent, walk your hands back until your arms look like chaturanga arms. So wrists underneath your elbows, shoulders up. Hug your thighs together as you roll them in towards the side of your mat, the part of the mat that you're facing. And then have enough weight in your toes that it feels like your feet are evenly balanced. And then inhale, pull your chest forward, look forward. Exhale, walk a quarter turn to the right, end up in a high lunge. Okay, step your back foot forward to meet your front foot. Inhale, chest up. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, sit into chair pose. Exhale, push up and stand, and join your hands together in front of your heart. Right, second side, inhale, sit back, chair pose. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, right leg goes back, heel flat. Inhale, warrior one breath to the top. Good. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Turn your toes to the side of your mat again. Hands to your hips. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, fold. This time make a hook, grab your big toes, index finger, middle finger. Inhale, chest wide. And then exhale, fold. Lift your shoulders up. Elbows out to the sides. And that same thing. So knees are straight. Weight even in your feet, then roll your inner thighs towards the side of your mat you're facing and hug your legs together. Good. And then inhale, chest wide, look forward. Exhale, walk, quarter turn to the left. Step your back foot to meet your front foot and inhale, chest forward. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, inhale, sit into chair pose. And exhale, push up and stand, hands together at your heart. Okay, last time, modified B. Inhale, sit back into chair pose. This time, exhale, hands to prayer and twist to the right. Hook your left elbow to your right knee. So you can look down and check your work. Make sure your knees are parallel, that your feet have stayed evenly balanced. And then hug your sit bones together. Once you have that stability, pull your sternum forward and then twist open. Then turn back to center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to prayer and twist to the other side. Right elbow, left knee. Okay, so not a long hold, just 5 breaths for each side. Make sure the knees are parallel, feet are even, then squeeze your sit bones somewhat together. Press your arm and knee together to twist open. Good. And then inhale, chair pose, arms overhead. Woohoo! Exhale, fold forward, straighten your legs. Inhale, chest forward, look up. And then exhale, take yourself through a vinyasa to down dog this time. Right, from downward facing dog, step your right foot all the way through to your hands. Right, stay up on your back toes and inhale to crescent pose. Exhale, join your hands together at heart center. Lean forward and hook your left elbow to your right knee and twist. Okay, so hands just stay in prayer. Back leg, press the thigh straight up into your hamstring. You do that just by taking the kneecap and lifting it up or straightening your knee fully. And then keep the weight in your right heel. Hug your sit bones together a little, and then pull your chest forward and turn it open. Good. And then look down and bring your hands down to the mat. Okay. Plant your left hand down, twist again to the right. This time reach your right arm straight up, stacking your shoulders over top of one another. And then look down and step your right foot on top of your left into side plank. If you need to modify keeping the top foot stepped across or dropping the bottom knee, that's fine. Okay. Flex your feet, roll your right hip over top of your left, and then roll your right side ribs back over top of your left. And then top arm, just reach it really high today. Good. And then come back into plank pose, and press back into down dog as you exhale. Okay, second side, step your left foot forward, inhale up to crescent pose. Exhale, hands to prayer, lean forward, twist to the left, right elbow, left knee. Okay, so you're almost done. This is the last standing pose section. There's a little surprise after this, but the standing poses will be done. Press the back leg straight. Front heel. Janice, give your back heel some more juice. Yeah, there you go. And then you hug your hips together so that you stabilize your low back, and then twist open. Otherwise, you end up torquing into your low back. And then exhale your hands down to the mat. Plant your right hand. Reach your left arm up and twist until your shoulders are stacked. Keep the right shoulder away from your ear. Look down, step into side plank, left foot on top of right or modified. And then you're going for one straight line like when you stand in Tadasana at the front of your mat. So feet should look like you could stand on them. Hips are stacked. Left hip will have to wrap over the right a little, and then left ribs wrap back towards the wall behind you to stack your rib cage. Good. Very nice, you two. All right, and then come back into plank pose, and this time it's your choice. You can take a vinyasa, or you can just go right back into down dog. That was so good of you two. They each chose different things. How helpful. Right? And then look forward. You're going to hop all the way through to seated. Right? Put your feet on the floor all the way together. And then sit up tall. Grab the backs of your thighs for a moment. Keep your chest wide. Shift back enough to get your feet up off of the floor. Parallel your shins with the floor, and Navasana with bent knees. So reach your arms forward. Keep the collarbones wide. Steady breath. This was the surprise I was talking about. A little core work. I said a little bit of everything. Right? On your next exhale, lower yourself halfway down into Ardha Navasana so that your feet and shoulders are an inch or two up off of the mat. Okay, draw the belly down to support your low back. Steady breath. Right, float your right leg up to the ceiling. Spread through the toes. Take it all the way up. If you need to bend the knee to bring it in, bend the knee to bring it in. Get down lower, Crystal, with that upper body. If you collapse, you come back in. Janice is doing great. Right, lower your right leg to meet your left leg. Hug your knees into your chest. I'm going to give you a pause. Lie down and hug them. There you go. All right, ready? Side two. Rock up to seated. Set up into Navasana again. You weren't going to have to do another Navasana. Now you are. You can blame these two ladies. Reach your arms forward. And then exhale, lower halfway down into Ardha Navasana. Pull the belly down. Good. Hold. You know it's coming. Here comes side two. Float your left leg up to the ceiling. If you need to bend the knee to get it up, then bend the knee and re-straighten it. There you go. Steady. Okay, lower your left leg down to meet your right. Hold. And then hug your knees into your chest. All right, it's over. Rock up to seated. Take a vinyasa through to downward facing dog. If you don't need a full one, you can just press back to down dog, but the up dog usually feels really good after that. Okay. And then inhale, come forward to plank pose. Exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. Uncurl your toes. Interlace your fingers behind your back. And then press your toes down. And on an inhale, lift your chest and your head up off of the mat into Shalabhasana with your arms behind your back. Okay, keep reaching the toes away from you, knees straight. Enough of the inner thighs spinning up. And then hip points, press them down. Then take one more breath. Lift your chest any amount higher, maybe arms up off of the back slightly. Exhale, lower yourself all the way down. Okay, put your hands under your elbows again. This time, leave your toes pointed. And on your next inhale, lift all the way up into upward facing dog with straight arms and straight legs. Really press the floor away from you. Okay. Get the shoulders way down your back, and then heads of the shoulders back to widen your collarbones. Good. Last breath. Exhale, up and over your toes into downward facing dog. And we'll just do one bridge pose. So look forward, hop all the way through, lie down on your back, bend your knees with your feet hip distance apart, and have your feet just a couple of inches further forward to the front of your mat than your knees are. And then press your feet down and lift from your outer hips and lift up into bridge pose. Walk your shoulders underneath of you without pulling them away from your ears, and interlace your fingers like you just did in Shalabhasana. So press your entire foot evenly. For most people, that's inner foot needs extra weight. And then inner thighs, just think about them moving towards one another and down to the mat so that your knees stay over your ankles. And then tailbone will move under just a tiny amount. Upper, outer shoulders, right at the very tops of your arms. Press down there to lift your upper back into your chest a bit more. And then separate your arms and lower yourself all the way down. Right, so a little cool down. And set up into happy baby. So grab the outer edges of your feet, draw your knees down, and keep your low back flat on the mat. Collarbones will stay wide, and then you can pull your knees down any amount. If you want to close your eyes through this finishing section, you're going to be on your back for the rest of the time, and that's completely fine. And when you close your eyes, sometimes your mind drifts away, so make sure that you pay attention to some portion of your body or breath so that you're on your mat for a little longer, even if your eyes are closed. And then bring your legs all the way together. And you wrap your arms around the backs of your thighs, and you can straighten your legs all the way, or you can keep them kind of soft and just do a passive forward fold on your back. If you can rock your legs up and over into a soft plow pose, you're welcome to take your toes over top of your head towards the floor, but you'll just do it softly. And you can do it like Janice is doing, or you can bend your knees and wrap your arms back around the backs of your thighs a little bit. Voila, like Crystal's doing. I like that one. And then let go of your arms and slowly roll yourself down. And then once your feet hit the floor, you'll bend your right knee and loop it over top of your left so your thighs are touching. Hug that into your chest. Flex your ankles. If that's enough, you can just stay here hugging it. If you want more, you'll grab the edges of your feet, spiral them out to the sides of your mat, and then pull them towards your shoulders for Supta Gomukhasana. And again, just even long breaths. Stillness in your body now. So once you get into these finishing poses, hold very still. If your knees are hurting you, that's a reason to come out. But if there's anything else, try to hold still as much as possible. If you're at home and you have a dog, they like to lick your face during this part. So that's an added bonus points if you can hold still during that. And then undo this and do the other side. Put your other leg on top. Hug that. Stay if you're staying. Grab the feet if you're going on. Feet to the sides and to your shoulders. And then undo this side and hug your knees into your chest. It's one final time. And then you'll set yourself up into Shavasana. Right, so separate your legs and your arms. If you have any distractions, you can try for at least a few minutes to lie still with your eyes closed, just letting yourself take a little bit of rest. It's important to at least try to do Shavasana, even when you're doing a home practice. It's the reason that you do all the movement and work is to get to a place where you can lie still and be quiet and rest. Right, so make some space to do that. And then take complete advantage. Let go fully. And then when you're ready, you can get yourself up and finish your day.